started, I went ahead and applied my Bare Pro Liquid Foundation, then did bronzer, blush, and highlighter, and I recently filmed you guys an updated tutorial on my current foundation routine, which I will link right here if you want to use that to get caught up and follow along. Then I took the Bare Minerals lip liner, the Gin Nude Over Under in the shade Vibe. That's my everyday lip liner, regardless of what color I plan to use. Typically fill my lips in. And then I went ahead and did one eye so that way we could kind of go ahead and see what our look was going to look like. And now let's go on ahead and jump into it. The Bare Minerals blending brush and the shade Truth, I'm just going to start to work that from inner to outer corner in our transition area to kind of set up. First, it makes the eye area smooth after applying that foundation to prep the eyelid, and then it also kind of creates that gradient so the rest of our shadows will blend seamlessly. So I start in the crease because that's where we want most of the product. And then once there's not as much remaining on the brush, I bring it down to the lash line, up to the brow, just to make sure everything is perfectly smooth. Taking that same shade, same brush, I'm just going to start to work a little along the lower lash line. And then once I have that the way I want it, I like to make kind of like a halo sweep all the way from the crease up at the top, down to the bottom, and connecting those two together. The lower lash line when I work with clients is always something that I say, like, it's gonna start off rough and look uneven, but just stick with it because the more you blend it, the more beautiful it will get. Now on a more precise blending brush, taking the shade Wild Child, which is a gorgeous burgundy shade, and I'm gonna start to make like a V shape. So bringing this dark shade over from about my pupil in the crease down to the outer corner of the eye, and then connecting that down to the lash line. Then I'm just going back in with the blender brush we used before, no additional product, and making sure everything remains nice and smooth. Taking the same shade Wild Child on a more precise pencil brush, and I'm just gonna start to work that along the lower lash line from inner to outer corner. Now on any flat-ended standard eyeshadow brush, I'm going to first spritz my brush and then take this gorgeous copper shade Bonfire, and I'm going to start to pack that onto the lid all the way up to where we applied Truth in the crease, and then over to where we applied that darkest shade Wild Child, and just filling everything in between with this gorgeous copper. A little bit more of that Wild Child, I'm just touching up that outer corner and into our crease area. Using the shade Aura and Gypsy size shadow brush, I'm just going to place that on the inner corner and right below the arch of the brow. This is going to not only help to open the eye, but also to lift everything up. A Bare Minerals bronze liner, and I'm just going to place that into the waterline of my lower lash line. So just going all the way from inner to outer corner. Now taking the one I always use, which is the Bare Minerals Round the Clock liner in the shade Midnight, and I'm just going to line the upper waterline over to about the pupil. I love doing this trick because I think it makes the lashes look so much thicker, and this is the best liner to do it with because it's smudge proof. So even if you're a contact wearer and you like the look of liner in the waterline, it doesn't smudge or flake off for me throughout the day. Same liner, and I'm just going to make a tiny line as close to the lash line as I can from the outer corner of my lashes over to my pupil. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to go back in just a second and smudge it all out. Now going in this gorgeous black shade called Trippin' with a little bit of gold flecks and a precise pencil brush, more so than what we were using to blend, just something nice and precise, but something that will still blow everything out and give us that smoky look. And I'm just going to start to smudge that liner, and I'm starting on the outer edge, and the whole time I'm pushing it down into the lash line. And that's another thing I love about this liner, because once you start to manipulate it before it's totally set, it's pretty easy to move. So I find it looks more natural only lining over halfway, and then as long as you work kind of quickly, you can manipulate it over so that it looks like at least 2/3 of the eye have liner by the time you're done. So I'm just using that and smudging it all over that line, and then when I get to the inner corner, just making sure everything's smooth where we stopped that line and bringing it over just a little further. Then I'm also going to take a little bit of that shade and just work it down into the lower lashes. Now I'm just going to be curling my lashes. I usually just do a couple pumps. Then taking my Revitalash mascara, I love to pair that with my Lashtopia, so I'm going to be applying the primer that is included in this mascara. It's a good blue base primer versus like the old-timey white primers that we're all used to, so that way it's easier to cover when you go back in with the mascara. I'm just going to be applying my Lashtopia mascara, which is my favorite mascara if you're really looking for volume and length on the lashes. It does a good job of separating, and I find that the brush keeps you from getting any clumps while still giving all the volume. With mascara applied, I'm going to be applying my Brow Master Brow Pencil in the shade Coffee and my Brow Master Strength and Length Brow Gel in the shade Clear, and I will be right back. Guys, I'm back. I've got my other brow caught up to speed. Mascara is on, and the last thing to top off this look is I'm going to be applying my Buxom Cosmetics Full On Plumping Lip Polish in the shade White Russian, which is one of my longtime favorites. It is the perfect baby pink, and I love to apply it over top of this Vibe lip liner. Lip gloss is on, and I've sprayed a little bit of my antioxidant Hydra Mist from Dermalogica as my setting spray, and that will complete this makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please make sure to subscribe, and I will be seeing you all very soon.